Fresh Express Coleslaw, 14-ounce package, half price, $1.99. Fresh Pork Shoulder Butt, hot deals at $2.39 per pound. Blue Ribbon Hamburger or Hot Dog Rolls, 8-pack, hot price, $3.49. Bermuda's Best Ketchup, 20-ounce bottle, hot price, only $2. Select varieties of ShopRite frozen fruit, 12-ounce bag, hot price, only $3.49. All stores open Monday through Saturday from 7 a.m. until 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us.
Live from Bermuda Broadcasting, this is ZBM TV9 News.
You're watching Bermuda Broadcasting News. It's Thursday, the 17th of May. I'm Jasmine Patterson, and thanks for joining us tonight. Police made 3 arrests today as police executed warrants in the Bowes Island area of Sands. They said the swoop was in connection with an ongoing firearms investigation, and we understand it is linked to the shooting incident which left a bullet lodged in the ceiling of the Docksider pub yesterday. ZBM News has been told that today's action by police might be just the start of a broader operation. Here's Gary Moreno with more.
Video of the purported arrests have been making the rounds on social media, and while police would not comment on the individuals taken into custody as depicted in this video, well-placed sources in the Bermuda Police Service confirmed to us the men seen in the clip are suspects in the Docksiders shooting. It's understood several men said to be linked to a gang based in the western end of the island were seen in Hamilton on the night of the shooting. Detective Chief Inspector Naima Astwood says that fact has not gone unnoticed, and it's been suggested the intended target or targets may have ran into Docksiders to flee an attack.
We're not ruling out anything. We did hear that as well. We can confirm that. Because the investigation is still in its infancy stages, that's why we're asking people to come forward. If you have any videos, if you have any footage, in these types of situations, sometimes we get a lot of anecdotal information that comes forward, but if they have videos or they have footage or someone that was there to come forward, then we can start confirming our lines of inquiry.
We understand also that the Docksiders incident may be linked to a fight which occurred on Reed Street last weekend.
We are not ruling out anything. It may be connected, it may not be connected. But if they have any information, even from that incident, it would be really helpful if they brought that forward to the detectives.
A spate of violent acts have occurred in Hamilton within recent weeks, raising concerns about the safety of residents and visitors alike. The Chief Inspector explained police are keeping an eye on such incidents and taking action to deal with them.
Hence why we are saying to the members of the public to be aware that we may be using stop and search searches and powers, and we may be in areas in high visible patrols. So if they're wondering why that's happening, that is our response to it. We are aware that the last incident that we had was over 6 months ago, and we've had a relatively uneventful period for the last 6 months, so we are going to respond to it because we do not wish for this to escalate.
And to that end,
the police for the last from the beginning of this year have been putting out directed patrols during the weekends. Obviously, as the summer approaches, more events are coming about. People tend to come out and party more. And as that happens, the police shift their resources to deal with those types of incidents. So yes, you should be seeing increased patrols over the weekends and or during periods when we know that people will be out and congregating.
Whether the arrests made are as a result of those efforts or linked directly to the Docksiders incident remains to be seen. Gary Moreno, reporting for the Bermuda Broadcasting News.
An explosion has caused extensive damage at a residence in Warwick. The incident occurred shortly after noon today, shattering glass panes on windows and doors on the ground floor of the Marl Lane Warwick property. Thankfully, though, no one was injured. The police and Bermuda Fire and Rescue have begun investigations into the blast. We're told the blast may have emanated from the kitchen area of the property. However, neither the BPS nor Fire and Rescue responded to our queries about these claims. They would say only the matter is under investigation. We've been reliably informed that an accelerant was found at the scene and that one of the residents works in the Department of Public Prosecutions, though there is nothing to suggest at this stage that these two facts might be connected. Well, the family of a Bermudian man who's gone missing in the United States have appealed for help in finding him. 76-year-old Lionel Wendell Trott left his home in Ocala, Florida on Saturday and hasn't been seen since. His family are particularly worried as Mr. Trott suffers from dementia. Hal Davis reports.
His disappearance is already in the news in Florida.
An endangered man who has dementia, 76-year-old Lionel Wendell Trott, was last seen on Saturday afternoon around 1 o'clock at his home off Bahia Circle in Ocala.
Now his family in Bermuda are also appealing for help in locating Lionel Wendell Trott.
Well, he's been missing since Saturday, and because he has dementia, he's considered an endangered person. So we would like to know his whereabouts, like I believe anyone would, with a family member who is missing. So as I've stated before, he was a man of the community, and we would just like the community to come together and to help us in finding him.
The Sheriff's Department in Florida, looking into the case, says it's difficult to start a search as they have no leads as to where Mr. Trott has gone, with the force relying on social media.
We put out this missing endangered alert, and it goes on our Facebook page, which reaches a very high amount of people. We have 87,000 people on our Facebook page every day, so that definitely helps getting it out to the media, getting their picture out there and their information, what they were last seen wearing. It's also very helpful. It looks like there is no other at this point in time, no other updates to this case. And the longer they're missing, of course, the more concerned we become because of their status and how vulnerable they might be.
The families say they miss Mr. Trott and want him back as soon as possible. 3 members of the family are setting out for Florida today to aid in the search.
Before he was diagnosed with dementia, I would say my uncle was very charismatic. He was a loving person. He also did a lot of things for the community. He was an ex-police officer, and he also was a news anchor for ZBM.
Anyone with information about Mr. Trott's whereabouts is urged to ring a police tips hotline on 1-800-8477. or the general number for the Bermuda Police Service 295-0011. Alternatively, you can call the Marion County Police in Florida, dialing 1 for the United States, then 352-732-8181. Howell Davis, Bermuda Broadcasting News.
We'll have more for you after this short break, including all the latest weather and news of a possible new police commissioner. Stay with us.
Sears is Bermuda's largest home appliance store with over 200 appliances in our showroom. We have refrigerators and freezers, gas ovens and electric ranges, washers and dryers. Sears has a wide selection of craftsman's tools and accessories. Beautify your home with our lawn and garden tools. We have everything you need for outdoor entertaining. Located at 41 Victoria Street, Sears is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sears, reliable delivery, quality service, and everyday low prices.
My biggest fear in this world was losing an arm, a leg, my eyesight. I was taking insulin injections. I was also taking lisinopril and a series of other medications.
There are many medications that patients are on that are very helpful. If you're able to lower the blood sugar through lifestyle, decrease in sugar intake, increase activity, you don't need those medications anymore.
Whereas before, we thought if you have type 2 diabetes, you've got it for the rest of your life. We now understand that it can be reversed.
People are saying, oh, gosh, Miss Wade, you look like you lost weight. What are you doing? And you just tell them you're doing the diabetes reversal program. Dr. James looked at me and he said, Sister Wade, look at you. And I said, Doc, I got my sexy back. I said, Doc, you know what? I can truly say that you saved my life.
I invite you to take the first step on the journey of the Diabetes Reversal Program here at the Premier Health and Wellness Center.
Just about a month before Commissioner of Police Michael De Silva steps down from the post, but still no official word on whether his successor has been chosen. As we previously reported, 3 locals and 1 overseas candidate are said to have been interviewed for the post. Well-placed police sources telling Gary Moreno it is thought the overseas applicant had been closely involved with the investigation into the December 2nd, 2016 protests, and the police use of pepper spray against protesters is the person most likely to take over from Mr. De Silva, and may even be Mr. Christopher Sheed, who in fact headed up that investigation. We put a number of questions about the commissioner post to Government House today, including whether Mr. Sheed has been chosen as the new head of the Bermuda Police Service. Also, what measures could be implemented if a successor is not found by the time of Mr. De Silva's departure, and have letters of regret yet been sent out to the unsuccessful applicants. We have not yet heard back. Meanwhile, we're told an announcement on the new commissioner could come early next week. Well, if you have a mortgage, you probably notice your monthly payments are going up. That's because interest rates are on the rise. Tony Waterman sat down with Don Thorpe of Fitch Ratings to talk about what impact rising interest rates could have on mortgage insurance in the U.S. and the captives that reinsure that risk.
Well, I think the most significant effect will be the number of refinancing transactions will drop. So the overall number of mortgage transactions will drop, and we expect mortgage insurance transactions to drop along with that.
Will rising interest rates increase the risk of defaults and then therefore put these companies at greater risk?
Rising interest rates wouldn't typically increase the risk of default unless it was a variable rate mortgage, but most of the mortgages issued recently are fixed rate. So rising interest rates wouldn't cause the rate on an existing mortgage to change, but it would reduce the likelihood that somebody would refinance that mortgage.
The captive market, what have you seen as the emerging trends in the first 6 months of the year?
There's always a pretty steady flow of captive formations and winding up of captives. It's really driven a lot by capacity in the traditional market. So what you tend to see is when there is less capacity in the traditional market, there tends to be more demand to form captives. And if there's a fair amount of capacity traditionally, there's less likelihood that new captives will be formed.
The U.S. passed tax reform at the end of last year. Has that made the U.S. captive domicile more attractive?
I have not seen that, but you know, one of the things that comes up a lot is taxation in regards to captives. But really that's, in our view, not a terribly good reason to be forming a captive. In fact, if that's the sole reason for forming a captive, that tends to be a rather large concern. We really think the important reasons that companies form captives are they want greater control over, say, their claims handling, or they want some type of cost savings, or what's really common is that they want some type of customized, unique product that isn't sold in the traditional market.
Bermuda for the commercial insurance is now Solvency II equivalent, does not apply though for captives. There are benefits to that?
What comes with Solvency II is a lot of regulatory requirements that will not be implemented at the captive level. So there'll be sort of a dual regulatory regime for captives and traditional insurers. But what that means is probably there'd be no reason not to form a captive in Bermuda because you wouldn't be taking on the onerous, the extra record-keeping requirements.
Another day of sunshine and high temperatures today. As we near the weekend, will it continue? Here's the latest from our forecaster, AccuWeather.
AccuWeather is presented by BF&M Insurance Group. We now go to AccuWeather headquarters.
This AccuWeather forecast here on ZBM is brought to us by our friends at the BF&M Insurance Group, and we remain in great shape. High pressure still in control. Lots of dry air, an ocean of dry air across the heart of the Atlantic, including the western part of the Atlantic as far west as Bermuda. We are still watching all that moisture, copious amounts of moisture, keeping a close hold on the eastern U.S. It's not really advancing too close to us as that moisture stream is dictated by the upper level winds, keeping most of that away. We have seen very few clouds out there. It's been nice. Now, as the heart of this high pressure center, the Bermuda High, the ridge of high pressure, begins to shift to the east. You can see the center of circulation is a little bit east of our longitude. That will begin to slowly open the door for perhaps the opportunity for a brief fleeting sprinkle or shower in a few more days. But for the most part, we really expect to be dry. Satellite estimated rainfall is generally close to the East Coast. There's a lot more rain where that came from over the eastern states of the United States. But when we look at our current conditions, we're running warm with that flow from the south. It's a 10 to 15 knot wind from the south. Humidity around 70 to 75%. Water temps at 77.5. Which rounds up to 78. Again, the water temp has been rising a bit. Temperatures on the island 77 to 78 degrees at this hour. On the inside, waves are around a foot or less, really. Outside of the reef, though, especially on the south side, we'll find some 3 and 4 footers, 2 to 4 feet, the general wave height for the outlying waters. Tonight, we're in good shape. We'll have mainly clear sky. Temperatures will remain warm with that flow from the south continuing as we only fall down to around 73. No marine alerts, no small craft advisories or warnings or anything of that nature from the Bermuda Weather Service under this fair weather pattern. Low tide was recently at 4:40 p.m., high tide at 11:06 tonight. The tide goes back out early tomorrow morning. It'll come back in time for lunch tomorrow. High tide 11:27 a.m. on your Friday. And Friday will be a warm, pleasant day. Lots of sunshine, 79 degrees. So pretty toasty out there. And here it is, the overall weather pattern dictating our warmth. There's that flow from the south since we are west of the center of the swirl. That clockwise circulation there is the heart of the Bermuda Azores high that does remain off to the east for the next few days. The clock is changing, but nothing is really changing when it comes to our local forecast. That flow will remain from the south, maybe more southeast. By Friday night, it could be more of a light easterly wind under the heart of high pressure just off to the east. Gateway forecast features some showers into New York City, cooler into Boston, Atlanta, a little thunderstorm action there. London looks nice, though, at 65. Down into the Caribbean, scattered showers, thunderstorms mid to upper 80s. No tropical threats at this point. And we'll just mention the fleeting chance for a brief sprinkle, but most of the next 5 days dry, upper 70s, and we'll stay warm at night. Back to you.
AccuWeather was presented by BF&M Insurance Group.
This is Rick Blomquist of De Pere, Wisconsin. His life is pretty comfortable. He lives in a comfy home, wears comfortable shoes. He even has a comfortable job. Rick Blomquist thought he had comfort all figured out. But then he laid on a Serta and realized his life was only just sorta comfortable. The new Serta iComfort Hybrid Mattress. Not just sorta comfortable, Serta comfortable.
Feel the difference a good night's sleep can make. Exclusively available at Dreams, Bermuda's only mattress gallery.
Here it comes! The most exciting event of 2018, when the Oracle Boat Shed and Dockyard is the place to be. Sunday, May 27th, with the chance to come on down and play The Price is Right for fabulous prizes. Featuring the famous signature four-ways brunch with jazz music provided by the unit at either 11:30 or 2 p.m. with The Price is Right immediately after each seating, hosted by Mike Bishop. Proceeds will benefit Friends of Hospice, a charity supporting Agape House. Tickets of $150 per person will include your four-ways brunch, first mimosa, seat at The Price is Right, and one chance to win a luxury Mercedes-Benz GLA car, courtesy of Prestige Autos Limited. Book online at ptix.bm. But hurry, as seating is limited. Sponsored in part by Martini, Wedco, American Airlines, and Bermuda Blueprinting. We look forward to asking you to come on down. This is a Planning Factory Bermuda and Sound Concepts production.
Carl, you're not entering this race. You cannot do it. You're not strong enough. It's too dangerous.
Please, son, listen to your father.
I can do it. I'll show you, Dad. I'll show everyone. I can do this. I know I can! Who's there? Show yourself.
So you're looking to join the derby? Come with me if you want to win. You'll be faster. You'll be stronger. You'll be better than the rest of them. You'll be a winner. Can you feel it? The ducks are coming back.
Rubber Duck Derby, June 3rd, 2018. Adopt a duck to support Friends of Hospice.
Welcome back. Sport now, and the countdown to one of the island's biggest sporting events, the 2018 Bermuda Half-Day Marathon Derby, continues. Earl Basin has the latest details in tonight's sports report.
Krista Swanek, a multiple winner of the Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby, is going to sit out the 2018 race due to injury. While Tyler Butterfield is still undecided, although he's registered for the race. Swanek confirmed through a phone call that he is struggling with an injury and has been advised not to compete this year. Meanwhile, Butterfield, who has registered to compete, speaking with ZBM Sports 2 days ago, said, "I will know this week. I tweaked my calf and it is day to day," end quote. The Bermuda women's national team was announced earlier today by the Bermuda Football Association Coach Nikita Robinson details expectations for this round.
The expectation is always to win the group because the top team is the one that goes through to the next round. So our expectation is to win the group. Playing the host first, Guyana, which will probably be a tough competition for us. They have some talented players. We've done some scouting. We've watched some videos of all three teams. So they look the ones that are a little bit more technical. But I feel that with the group that we have selected, we can do the task that's put in front of us.
The Wednesday night sailing series continued on the waters of the Hamilton Harbor with some 22 boats going to the start line from race day 4. Crossfire was the first boat to cross the line, clocking a time of 42.46, with the corrected time of 46.55, saw them finish second on the night. Air Force crossed the line second on the night with a time of 49.34, and with the corrected time of 46.28, saw them finish first on the night. Jackmate was third on the night with a corrected time of 47.43, this after clocking 50.54. Yapsta was fourth on the night with a corrected time of 47.44. Mayhem rounded out the top 5 finishers with a corrected time of 48 minutes flat. The International Snooker Tournament moved into the individual stages inside the Ocean View Golf Club. The tournament sees players from Bermuda, Halifax, Vancouver, New York, and Calgary all competing. Steve Tuck defeated Tony Dawson, while Peter Thompson defeated Maurice Duchette. Kenny Shea defeated Aaron Bean, while Tyler Munnis defeated Jamie Brunn. Steve Pevlik defeated Stuart Greenslade. Larry McDonald got by John Watson. Jeff Byrne defeated Keno Zul, and Doug Fox got by Winslow Smith. Flora Duffy collected the first win of the Tokyo 2020 Olympic qualifying period on Saturday, landing another brilliant goal at the 2018 ITU World Triathlon in Yokohama, Japan. Duffy continued her streak of strong race consistency from start to finish after leading out of the swim, remaining in the lead in the bike pack, and then stealing the race running away, which ultimately left her on top of the series leaderboard in the World Triathlon Series rankings with 2,000 points. Duffy has 2 wins under her belt, with American Katie Zafaris second with 1,781 points after 2 races, and in third is Kristen Casper with 1,582 points after 2 races. Jillian Teixeira and Tyler Lopes concluded competing in the Valkenswaard International Horse Jumping event in the Netherlands. Teixeira and Amarula finished 39th competing in the CSI 2 Small Tour 1.35 meter Table A against the clock class. They clocked a time of 61.93, but they had 4 penalty full points. During the CSI 2 Medium Tour 1.40 meter Table A against the clock class, Teixeira and Chekova finished 44th, clocking 65.50, but they also had 4 penalty full points. Lopes and Escalada finished 34th competing in the CSI 1 Grand Prix 1.35 meter to 1.40 meter Table A against the clock with a jump-off class. They clocked a time of 86.32, but they also recorded 14 penalty full points. The Bermuda School Sports Federation's primary school girls field hockey tournament took place at the National Sports Center. Salters Grammar School played 15 minutes of extra time with Herring Bay School before tournament organizers agreed to let both schools share the spoils and name both schools the 2018 primary school girls A Division champions. The decision was made in the spirit of fairness and sportsmanship and was welcomed by both coaches as the team started to show signs of fatigue. Salters defeated Work Academy 2-0 in their semifinal, while Herring Bay got past Harrington Sound 3-0 in the other semifinal. Salters Grammar School finished the round-robin B Division undefeated with a perfect 4-0 record to claim the gold medal. West End Primary finished second with a record of 3 wins and 1 loss. Braxton Stowe and his St. Louis University men's baseball teammates totaled 17 runs over the course of 2 games, taking care of business 9-1 and 8-4 in wins over St. Bonaventure. St. Louis put together a powerful offensive display in Game 1 before taking care of business in Game 2. Stowe came into the game and played first base. In Game 1, he had 3 putouts and did not have a turn at bat. Stowe did not feature in the second game of the day. The Bermuda Commercial Softball League season continued at the Michael Priest Softball Diamond with a triple header with 64 runs crossing the plate. In the opener, the Axpets defeated the Chubb Kings 11-6. Team Smoky went down 19-12 to the Sunglass and Watch Shop, and Parakeet Flyers closed out the night with a 13-3 win over Platano Power. I'm Earl Basden with Bermuda Broadcasting Sports.
You might think the smell would keep people well away, but apparently not. The city of Hamilton has issued a reminder to people that they should keep clear of garbage trucks as their workers go about their collections. City Hall is asking the general public to stay at least 20 feet from the vehicles so that both workers and passers-by can stay safe. It's also called on people to exercise patience if the trucks are operating during heavy traffic, noting that garbage is collected day and night and in all weather conditions. More news for you coming up in just a few minutes, including why your garage might be hiding a potentially lethal surprise, and good news for Royalist stamp collectors. Stay with us.
You can count on us. Fresh blueberries, 1 pint package, hot price $4.99. Fresh Purdue chicken thighs, just $1.99 per pound. Bermuda's Best mayonnaise, 30-ounce jar, hot price at only $3. Scott Extra Soft Toilet Tissue, 4 rolls, only $3.29. Pampers Baby Dry or Swaddler Diapers, hot price $9.99. All stores open Monday through Saturday, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. for your shopping convenience.
You can count on us. Are you looking to expand your customer base, increase sales, and be a part of the Island Community Events for 2018? Bermuda Broadcasting Company can make that happen.
Be a part of World Cup 2018, Bermuda Day Half Marathon, Bermuda Heroes Weekend, Cup Match Classic, and Eastern Counties Cricket.
Inquire about our new advertising opportunities, whether big or small. We will deliver. Come and see us at Fort Hill, Devonshire, or email us at sales@bbc.pm or send us a message on Facebook at Bermuda Broadcasting.
The 109th Bermuda Day Half Marathon Derby is here again. Join ZFB TV7 and Power 95 FM. With all of the excitement, starting at 8 a.m. with the pre-marathon broadcast live from Somerset with Ian Rollins. He will bring you live interviews with current and former competitors, and you can be assured he will keep you abreast until the start of the race. That's Friday, May 25th on ZFB TV7 and Power 95 FM. Brought to you by BF&M Group, BAC, Universal Electric, Lindo's Group of Companies, Security Associates, The Phoenix Stores Limited, Surface Trends, and JBM Realty and Associate Services.
Welcome back. Keyless cars have become popular around the world, mainly in the U.S., but also in Bermuda. But there are worries that the new technology could have a sinister side. The technology has been implicated in a number of deaths in states across the U.S. Here's more on that worrying story.
As a working mother, Miriam Terosian says she has walked away from her Toyota Prius without turning off the engine.
I mean, it could be a lot of things, long days or just your mind somewhere else maybe.
That type of mistake has had tragic consequences. A recent New York Times report found more than 24 people have been killed by carbon monoxide. The cases involve engines left running in a garage with cars that have keyless entry. It's a popular design in which a simple push button turns the car on and off when a key fob is nearby. Tim Brewer is an assistant professor in the car design program at Pasadena's Art Center College of Design.
I think this is an unintended consequence of convenience.
He says history has shown designs are refined after something harmful has happened. The Times reports regulations have been proposed but never enacted. In the meantime, Doug Shoup with the Auto Club of Southern California has some simple tips.
Something like a simple note inside your vehicle or right outside of the door to your home in the garage.
Some newer cars will turn off if they've idled for too long, while others have an alert feature.
If you have the fob in your hand and then you get out of the vehicle and close the door, you're going to get that alert to remind you the car is still on.
Miriam Terosian says hybrids like hers are confusing because the engine might not be running when she first parks if the batteries aren't low.
I forget because it gets really quiet when it's on off mode.
The Bermuda Post Office has issued 3 stamps to mark the upcoming wedding of Prince Harry to his American fiancée Meghan Markle. The pair will get married this Saturday in Windsor, with broadcasters from around the world televising the ceremony, including Bermuda Broadcasting, which will show the wedding live via its CBS and ABC affiliates. The 3 stamps all show images from the news conference in November last year when the couple announced their engagement. But keen stamp collectors will have to wait to get their hands on the new set. They won't be released until the Monday after the wedding. And we'll have more on the royal wedding tomorrow with a story sure to delight fans of the classic English cream tea. And that's our show for tonight. Thanks for watching. I'm Jasmine Patterson. Hope to see you again at the same time tomorrow. Good night.
Jasmine Patterson's wardrobe and makeup is provided by Gibbons Company.